All right, awesome. So thank you so much for joining me on this video. Now, on this video, I'm going to be talking about the one of the hardest and the most useful tools in Photoshop. Okay, now honestly, this tool is one of the hardest tools to master in Photoshop. I learned this tool 4 years after designing. Okay, after I'd been designing, I learned it 4 years after. That was when I took my time to, oh, I need to master this tool. But then I'm going to tell you what I learned in those by that fourth year about the tool that just made it so easy for me to use it. So this tool we're talking about is the pen tool. It's very, very useful, and then it is also difficult to learn. But I'm going to just give you very, very important tips you need to know to use the pen tool. So let's go to the pen tool. Directly below your dodge and sponge tool, you have your pen tool. Right now, if you look at this pen tool, you would see the freeform pen tool, anchor point, add anchor point to delete anchor point, and you have convert point tool. Okay, everything here regardless are known as the pen tool. So let's just click on the pen tool and let's start. Now, what's the pen tool used for? It's a pen, right? It is used to draw lines and curves, lines, curves, and also to make selections. So you can see it's very vast. You can use it for to draw lines, curves, and selections. So for this, I would like to zoom in, or rather, I like so we would see what I'm doing clearly. I'd like us to view the grids of this page. Grids. We'll talk about grids later. So for grids, click on View, then go right down to Show and click on Grids. View, Show, Grids. Right. So these are grids. Now I'm going to zoom in so you see what I'm doing clearly. Good. So these are grids. Now, to use the pen tool to draw straight line, the first thing you do, you click on a point, right? Go to the next point where you want your straight line to be and click. It has drawn a straight line. Okay, good. So let me undo that. So you click here, go to the next point and click. Okay, so I want a straight line. I want a straight line. Um, I want a slanting line. I click here. I come over to this next point and I click. Okay, that's how you can create a slanting line with Photoshop. One click. Okay, now that's how to create a straight line with Photoshop with the pen tool. Good. Now there's something else I want you to know. When you click here, right, and then you click here, it has created a straight line, right? Now, okay, let's redo that. You click here and you click here, it has created a straight line, right? If you notice, when I hover over this point here, you see the cursor changes to have a minus sign underneath it, right? If I hover away, you can see it's just the pen tool. When I get to that point that we created, you can see it has a minus 2, a minus sign below the 2. What this means is the delete anchor point. These points are known as anchor points. So this is a delete anchor point. So that's exactly the same thing you see here. Delete anchor point 2, right? So once you hover over an anchor point, it automatically changes to a delete anchor point. Sorry, I want to select that again. Okay, I want to select, sorry, oh, the background layer is locked. Let's unlock, let's duplicate the layer. Good. Um, so now that is, that is, okay, sorry, good. So when I hover over it here, okay, let's see. So click here, you can see this is delete anchor point. So if I click on it, if I click on it, what it does is it deletes the anchor point. Okay, when I click on it, it deletes the anchor point. Right, let me, oh, you may not see what's going on clearly. So now this is a straight line. Let's, okay, or let's restart that instead. Let me duplicate the layer. uh let's duplicate the layer. So now we click here and then click here, right? Good. Now you can see the subtract, the delete anchor point tool, right? So when you hover over any of the anchor points, you'd see it changes to a delete anchor point tool, right? Now, but whenever you are anywhere on the line you have created, or what I call a path, is known as a path. Whenever you are anywhere around it, you can see it changes to a plus. That is what we call an add anchor point tool. That's an add anchor point tool. So if you click, it has, if you click, you can see that point is created. You click, that point is created. Okay, I'll explain what these things are later. But this is the main point here that is created. That's why if you hover over it, you would see that is a delete anchor point tool there. So you can see this. If I click on it, it deletes it. Good. So now that we know how to create a line with the pen tool, I want us to also create I want us to draw a shape. Okay, I want us to draw a shape with the tool. So how do you draw? Now we've created a line. Click here. Okay, sorry, created a line. Okay, good. Now you come over here, you click, you see, come over here, you see a circle right below your anchor point tool icon. Then you click. Here we have a rectangle, or rather a triangle. If you want to create a let's say a parallelogram or whatever, you click here, click here, you click, you click. So it just continues until you join it back. You can see this 0 or O right below. When you get back to your starting point, the O comes in, and then you click, right? So you could draw as many shapes as you can, as many shapes as you want to, different sizes. Okay, now this is using the pen tool to draw definite shapes. Then you come back to your starting point 0. Okay, good. So that's using the pen tool to draw definite shapes, right? Now let's get to the more interesting part of the pen tool. How do you draw a curve with the pen tool? Now watch this very clearly. When you want to draw a straight line, you click on the point, right? But when you want to draw a curve, you click and drag. Can you see what I'm doing? You click and drag. You click and drag. Okay, good. You click and drag. So now if you want your curve to go up, if you want your curve to go up, you click and drag up. Now when I say you want your curve to go up, now if you see a circle, right? Let me use a selection tool for that. If you see a circle, this is your marquee tool. Then let me fill it with the paintbrush so you see what I'm talking about clearly. Okay, good. So now when you see a circle, you notice that this part of the circle goes up. The curve here goes up, right? This other curve here comes down, right? This curve here, this curve you see here goes up. This curve here comes down, right? This curve here comes down. This curve here comes down. Okay. So if I want the curve to go up, I click and I drag up in order to create this kind of a curve here, right? If I want the curve to go down, I click and I drag down in order to create this kind of a curve here. Okay. Now to create this kind of a curve here, click and drag down. Good. So let's do that again. Now I click your pen tool. You can also press the P to bring it up. I click and I go up, right? Good. Then I come over to this point here and I click. You can see the curve goes up, right? Okay. What if I click and I go down? Instead of clicking to go up, I'm clicking to go down, right? and I come to that same point and I click, what happens? You can see the curve goes down. Okay, good. So that's the first thing you should know when drawing curves. You want your curve to go up, you click and take it up. Okay, so let's do that again. Click and take it up. Good. Now, so over here, I'll click and I would take my curve down, right? I'll take the curve down. Okay. Why am I taking it down? Because I want to change the direction. If I take it up, this is what it's going to be like. If I take it up, this is what it's going to be like. You see? Right? If I take it up, this is what it's going to be like. So I click and I take it down. Now, having taken this down, that shows that the next curve I will draw from this would come from down. So I click here to draw another curve, and look, that curve comes from down. Can you see? The curve comes from down, right? It comes from down. Now, remember here, because I'm changing the direction of the curve, I click here and I drag up. So this curve is down, but since I've dragged up, if I want to go down, if I want to change the direction, since I've dragged up, this curve is going to come up first, right? But then if I click here and I move it down, can you see that? The curve goes up first, then starts coming down, right? Then because I move this down, the next curve will obviously start from down, right? I know it's a little complex, but just try to understand it that way, right? Good. So now, when I click, move up, right? Click, move up, click the next curve, move down. I'm moving down because I want to change the direction of my next curve. I want it to come down, right? So I click, move up because I want to change my direction of my next curve. I click here, move down because I want to change the direction of my next curve. Good. So what if I do not want to change the direction of my next curve, right? What if I want it to, instead of going up, going down, I just want it to be like an M, right? So I click here, click here, and then I go up. You can see it's going up, but I'm not going to release this handle. I'm not going to release it, right? I would hold down the Alt key. You see the Alt key? I'll hold down the Alt key. This is the Alt key, and then I'll change the direction back up. I change the direction back up. Sorry, I released the Alt key, Ctrl Z. So I click here, move it down without click, with still holding on my left click. I hold down Alt, change the direction, and release. Right? You see what the cursor changes to, right? You see what the cursor changes to. This is what we call a convert anchor point tool. This is your convert anchor point, right? So it converts your anchor point. So if you want it to be like a curve, you want to convert your anchor point, the direction of your anchor point, that's what you use the convert anchor point tool, and that's the same thing you have here. Okay, now, so having changed the direction up, what that means is that the next curve, when we click, is going to also come up. Okay, you can see that the next curve comes up, right? So but now I want to change the direction. Okay, sorry, this, the next curve comes up, right? So if I want to change the direction also, I hold down Alt key and change the direction up, right? Then I click here, the next curve comes up also because I changed that direction up. Okay, good. Now, what if, now if I leave it this way, right, and I come here to click, what direction would the curve take? Down, because I left that down. Okay, so that's how you work with the anchor point tool, or rather how you work with the pen tool, right? Just know when to adjust your handles. You see, these straight lines you have here, they are called handles, right? This straight, you see, this is your points here, and these things here are handles. Why they are handles is because you can manipulate them at any point. Okay, you want to manipulate them, there's something called the direct selection tool. I'll show you about that very soon, right? I'll show you about direct selection tool. Just click on A on your keyboard to bring it up. You can click on this particular point, right? You can okay, so now I did that so you see it clearly. Good. Now bring up your pen tool with your P. Let's see. You see when you rotate the handles, and when you can change the direction of the curve, or rather the orientation of the curve with the handles. Look at the handles. Look at the handles. You see you can change it. So now this is straight. I'm increasing the length, right? I'm rotating it. I'm rotating the handle. Take a look at what's going on. Okay, I'm rotating the handle. So you can use your handles to create several shapes as you would, right? Let me show you that one more time. So this is your pen tool. I click, I go up. You see, I click to go up. This is the point right here, and these are the handles, right? This is the point right here, and these are the handles. So I click here, take my curve down, right? If I try to rotate the handles, you can see what it gives me. And then because now look at this is slanting, right? Because this is slanting and I'm moving down, the next curve would start from down here also. The next curve would take its source from this our anchor point here and go down. So let's try that. So I click here. Can you see that? It takes its source down, right? So if I move up straight like this, you see what we have. I don't know if you are familiar with graph in your secondary school. This is what it's looking like right now, right? So, but then I want to move it up instead. You see, I've moved it up. The direction is up instead of down. This is down. The direction is up. Since the direction is up, that means that our next curve from this will take up. It will go up this way. Let's try that. So click. You see, go up, right? You click and move down, right? So that our next curve goes up, then comes down. If you click and go up, if you click and go up, your curve would come down first, then try to get up. Do you understand? If you click and go up, your curve will get up, then go down before going up, right? So just try to play around with this. So how can you use your pen selection tool? What do you use it for, right? Or your pen tool? This right now is a part. That's what we call it. It's called a part, right? It's called a part. You could, if you click outside of it, right? You see it. This is a part right now. So this part on its own is is useless. Or how do I explain it? It's empty. This part is empty. That means that if I save this picture now, let me show you. Shift S. If I save the picture now, that part there would not show. That part would not show. Let's save it as pen, right? So that part would not show. And it won't show because this is a part. It is not a shape, right? All right. So you could see it's open, right? But the reason you're not seeing anything here is because it was just a plain white background we saved, right? It was just a plain white background we saved. So that's why you're not seeing anything here. Okay, so what we did, that was a part. But when you come up here, you click on shape, you make it a shape. If you work with your pen tool now, if you work with your pen tool now, you would see that, you see, the shape is forming right now. This here is a shape. This is a shape, right? We've been able to create a shape with the pen tool. But if you just make it parts, if you make it just parts, it's not going to create a shape, just a part, right? So you could then work with that part for whatever you want to do, right? I'll show you more of that in some upcoming videos. what you can do with the pen tool. I'll show you some of that, right? So let's leave this on parts for now, because if you learn how to work with parts to help you a whole lot, right? So now we know how the pen tool works, but in order to master the pen tool, there's some you have to like practice and practice, right? You have to practice and practice and practice. So let me show you, let me show you. I've brought this folder, this picture I want you to practice with. The name of the picture is pen tool. Yeah, so just open pen tool with Photoshop. Open pen tool with Photoshop, right? So when you open the pen tool folder with Photoshop, I'd want you to try to trace what you can see. Try to trace these pictures, right? Try to trace them. So you leave the background layer the way it is, then create a new layer, right? Because that's where I want all your shapes. Name it shapes, right? Name it shapes. Then come to your pen tool. On your pen tool here, come to the menu, change the menu to shapes instead of part, right? Change menu shapes instead of part. Then I want you to zoom in, remove grids, view, show, remove grids, right? So what I want you to do with this is just try to trace. You click here, click here. This is a hexagon we're trying to trace. You click here, click here, click here, then you take it back. Easy, right? The next is a rectangle. Click, 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 click. Easy, right? The next is a trapezoid. Click, click, click here, here, here. Easy. Star. Click, click. You should zoom in so you see what you're doing better. Click, click. Don't worry, just keep clicking. As long as you're following it, it will fall in place. Click, click, click. Okay, you won't be able to see that, but let's just randomly click here. Good. Click. Good. Good. So then I want you to do the triangle first. Click, click, rather sorry. Click, click, click. Good. Okay, so we'll create a new layer. Right. So now for this, you click and drag up. Okay. Then we'll come over to this point. Okay. You try as much as possible. You can see. Okay, now what this means is that you're going to have to adjust the anchor points, right? So you're going to have to adjust the anchor points to, so how do you adjust the anchor points? A, click here. You could reduce the anchor points some more, right? Reduce the anchor points. You could also make this transparent so you'll be able to see clearly what you're doing. Okay, you could reduce the anchor points some more. Okay, there's your points. You could reduce the anchor points. Okay, good. You could click on this anchor point also to reduce it. Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay, then you continue with your pen tool P. Come over here, draw. Okay, come over here, draw one. Okay, this way. Okay, good. Then this should come this way. Okay, so we think that's a little too much. You click on A as a direct selection tool. You could reduce the handle back down a little here. Then on this side, you could increase it some more. Right, you could increase it some more. Okay, so you come over to your pencil again, continue from here. Okay, and then try to ramp up with this. So good, you can see how this looks. when you try to wrap up, just looks very, very clumsy. You could use your A to adjust the handles. Click on the anchor point to adjust the handles. Okay, adjust the handles. So you see now, as a newbie, I'm not expecting you to get this immediately. I'm not expecting to get this now. Look at. Let's use our move tool, so we see the shape that we've built. You could see the shape, right? I'm not expecting to get this accurately, and I'm not even trying to be as accurate as I normally would here, right? But then if you play around with these curves, you'd learn how the pen tool works. Okay, so that's that about the pen tool. Also, something I want you to know about the pen tool is that you could use the pen tool to make selections. How can you use the pen tool to make selections? So now I click on my pen tool, and then I go, okay, let's say I do this here. I'm just trying to be as quick as I can here. I'm not exactly following protocols. Let's say I do this here. Okay, let's say I do this here. Good. Let's say I do something like this. Okay. Okay. So let's just say I do something like this now. Remember, it's on shapes. Let's change it to part. I can right click and write make selection. Okay. So it has converted it to a selection. Okay. Anyways, you get the general idea though. That's how it works. Okay, that's how the pen tool works. So just keep trying, keep practicing making curves and all of that. And I'll see you in the next video. We're about wrapping up the video on tools. I'll see you in the next video. There's a part where we talk about text, typography. You'll always use this one in virtually everything you do. Okay, so meet me in the next video.